We'll call the March 2025 Town Council meeting to order. Will you please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Barry? Here. Jenna? Here. Barry? Here. Annette? Here. Bob?
Here. Next up, we have citizen input. Have any citizens wishing to add their comment to the meeting? Hearing none, I would like to open the public hearing for the utility rate increase. In your package, you will see the public notification. So I will open this public hearing for any comment. Asking again if there are any public comments. And for a third and final time, asking for any public comments in this hearing for the utility rates. Hearing none, I will close the public hearing. Next up, I'll be looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda to include the minutes of the February 2025 Town Council meeting and claims totaling $703,574.27.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, including the minutes of the February 20th, 2025 Town Council meeting and claims totaling $703,574.27.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Barry?
Aye.
Jenna? Aye. Barry?
Aye.
Annette? Aye. Bob?
Aye. In announcements, we have the town spring cleanup that will run April 7th through April 17th. Public Works dumpster will be open on Saturday, April 12th from 8 a.m. until noon for Dyer residents. Second item is town offices will be closed on Friday, April 18th in observance of Good Friday. And the last one here that I will add for an announcement is I believe there was a resignation from the Dyer Historical Society, so I'm sure if there's anyone interested in joining that group, they'll be looking. We also have 2 vacancies on our Dyer Summerfest committee. If anyone is interested, contact the town on that process for that. Next, we'll go to reports. We'll start with the town council and we will start with Ward 2, Councilwoman Pim.
Thank you, President Starkey. Well, happy first day of spring. I almost wanted to say April Fools because what a joke, right? Obviously the weather didn't get the hint, right? First day of spring. I want to say I got a chance to, and I saw President Starkey there and Mary Tanis to visit the Bibbage Open House. It was amazing. If you haven't had a chance to see what they've done there, it is wonderful. And what really excited me was there were, the Scoutmaster was there who had attended here at that wonderful utility meeting, Frank. And 2 of the scouts, and they came up and they extended their hand and shook hands. And I thought, here we go. We've got the next generation coming up. They remembered and they participated. And I said, this is fantastic. Just the start. It's kind of been a real joy in Ward 2. I'm right across from Pheasant Hills Park, so I get to see everything happening. Everybody was coming out the week before, not this weather, the week before. It's beautiful. They're all at the skate park and walking around. I want to encourage everybody to mark your calendars for the planned concerts in the park at Pheasant Hills. First one, June 10th, but that'll be following our amazing Summerfest. That's going to have wonderful weather. We're just going to have great weather going through all those things. I've also been hearing from several residents that would enjoy the amenity of a Dyer Heritage Center in our downtown district. I know we've put out for some bids on that. That amenity is customarily, it's a repurposed historical building, and we happen to have one that's in the town. But it's owned by the town and it would showcase rotating displays of the people of the town, past and present, founding families, major travel, like our ideal section that we have, transportation, like our Moan Online. It could showcase all of these things, as well as our first responders, the Native Americans who have encamped here, different artists and their art, past and present. There's so many things that we could showcase there. So I'm really excited about that possibility. So thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Ward 3, Councilwoman Grisovich.
Thank you, President Starkey. No report tonight.
Fantastic. Next up, we have Ward 4, Councilwoman Tanis.
In Ward 4, last Saturday, we were really busy. Mary and I went to the legislative presentation at the St. John Township Center with Dan Durnell and Representative Hal Slager, talking about some of the new laws that are coming into play and exactly what is going on in Indianapolis. It was very interesting. It was interesting to note that the majority of this conversation was about schools, and people were really concerned about how they're going to be funding schools. But it was a great opportunity to meet people. Then we went to Bibbich, and I particularly enjoyed their art presentations and their musical presentation. They really did a great job of doing that. I also wanted to give a shout out to Public Works because they did a phenomenal job of picking up the limbs. After last night's storm, they were all over our neighborhood. They really did a great job. And there was so many limbs even left out in the streets that, still are there. But I think people were going out and kind of cleaning up their own streets. But the vast majority of the limbs were picking up early this morning. So we really want to thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, Ward 5, Councilwoman Ludwig.
Thank you. Last night at the safety meeting, I was able to see a presentation from the Logan's Love. How the firemen, how they were able to place this magnet watch. And how this machine would be able to find autistic and autistic and dementia, Alzheimer's, and Down syndrome. It's still, the tracking device, it's still in the works and the training is being done. It's exciting. I'm really happy about it. So both Mike and I were out there trying to find this. So thank you for the presentation. It was nice. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. And next up, Clerk Treasurer.
Yes, good evening. As you know, I just got back from conference for 5-day conference we were at out in Plainfield. It was very educational as usual. So we brought a lot of knowledge back. Could be few fixings and that we'll be working on. But I think it was January, I talked with the council about the trucks and the lien ordinance that's 40 years old. There is an ordinance that still hasn't been presented to the storm or the utilities for them to forward it up to you guys to approve on. And the one that we currently have is 40 years old. It just needs to be updated. So I hope that the lawyers can start working on that together. I know one was gonna take the lead read and Adam was gonna look it over for the council, but I don't know where it's at this point.
I haven't gotten anything.
Okay. But we really need that in order to go for the trucks. I think there's a time limit. I might not be able to go for 25 taxes. I think we've lost that already, but we need it in place in order to go for 26 and 27. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Town Manager.
Everything I have is an agenda item. Thank you.
Town Attorney.
My main feature was the town code, which I presented already.
That was dazzling.
Well, thank you.
It was fantastic.
Steve.
I'm just glad you stayed awake.
Where am I? Next up, we'll go to our department heads. We'll start with Public Works.
The ADA concrete work, including the curb cuts and the plates, will be starting March 31st. That's going to be from Main Street to US 30 and in the Rockwell subdivision. March 31st. New concrete, that's going on the west side of Jewel and around onto US 32 Meredith Way will begin on April 28th. As we started with branch removal services on Monday. We had extra crews out today due to storms and such. So again, we seem to be back on schedule. But we will maintain our schedule that we did similar last year, which is one side of town on 1 week, the other side of the town the next week, and we'll continue that throughout the year all the way to December. Townwide street sweeping will be during the spring cleanup. That's from April 7th until April 18th, and that'll run for the entire town once. Tomorrow there will be an inspection on the interior and the exterior of the ground storage tank on Calumet Avenue, our water tank. So again, just to make sure it's structurally sound and such, but if there is anything, any issue with that, I'll bring that to the utility board for discussion. That seems to be the primary stuff that we're doing right now.
Thank you very much. Next up, Parks Department.
So for our projects, the Sandy Ridge Park Improvement Project, that status is the same. We're currently holding $5,000 in retainage. The only outstanding item is just ensuring that the seed germinates. We should probably know that in the next couple of months, and then we could release that and get that project off the books. Hearthstone pickleball courts. The last item on that is the sport court servicing. Our estimated date for that application is May 1st. We need this is weather conditional. We need ambient temperature of 50 degrees for 24 hours. Now, if it's warmer earlier, then maybe that can be a little earlier, but if it doesn't get warmer till later, then that might be pushed back a little bit. I believe pickleball courts, we had a pre-con meeting on March 18th with Robinson and the contractor Grimmer Construction, and they began the following day on the 19th. So they started that yesterday. So they're looking to do some excavation, I believe, tomorrow. Heritage Estates and Cottonwood Park improvements. This was awarded at last Thursday's park board meeting. The low bidder was Dire Construction, which submitted a bid of $459,051.93. Contract books are being drafted and they'll be over the contractor once they've been assembled. And we'll get signatures and get moving on that project. The Central Park Infrastructure Project. Robinson Engineering had a presentation on the study session. But we had a bid opening on the 19th. We had 8 contractors request plans, 2 submitting bids. Low bidder for the base bid, which is a ductile iron water main, and it was open cut, was M&J Underground Incorporated with a bid of $1,475,892.10. The low bidder for the alternate bid, which is the PVC water main with harsh portions open cut and directionally drilled, was M&J Underground Incorporated with a bid of $1,444,156.10. The engineer estimate for that project was $1,851,834 for the base bid, and then $1,825,284 for the alternate bid, which comes out to a savings of about 20% based on that. Central Park Disc Golf. We had a preliminary design was delivered to the park board. They discussed it at their study session on March 13th. Brian Cummings is coming back in the April meeting to officially present this to the board. So for activities, Royal Princess Ball, this event will be held on March 16th at Plum Creek Center. We have 33 participants as of right now. Apologies, we just had that. We had 33 participants. It was a very nice event. Our Easter egg hunt. This event is at Central Park on Saturday, April 12th. The hunt will begin promptly at 2 p.m. The PD is out there sounding the horn, and I believe that we're also going to have a fire engine out there as well for the kids. Then on the next day, we have our bunny home visits where the Easter bunny will visit a few select Dyer residents. Our flashlight egg hunt is on Thursday, April 17th. This is for the children ages 9 to 12 at the Plum Creek Center and at Elmer Miller Park. Our 2 volunteer committees, the Dyer Summerfest, the event's ongoing. We actually met earlier today, discussed a variety of things. The fireworks contract is on your agenda tonight for your approval. Band contracts are filtering in. I expect to have all of them before the next April meeting. So you guys, they'll be up in your April meeting for approval. Returning vendors have until March 31st to apply for a guaranteed spot. The committee is also pursuing many potential sponsors in conjunction with the Office of the Clerk Treasurer. And the their next meeting is April 24th at 6 p.m. Apologies, they changed it to 4:30. So April 24th at 4:30 is their next meeting. For Dyer and Bloom, Pat Patina resigned from her position in Dyer and Bloom on March 11th. Pat Patina will remain a volunteer associated with the committee. The park board filled this vacancy on March 13th by appointing Gene Neiman to the committee. Gene Neiman has been a volunteer associated with the committee for the past 3 years. The committee met on March 4th at Town Hall to discuss upcoming projects, which include the Arbor Day tree giveaway on April 25th and the inaugural park cleanup day on April 26th. Their next meeting is on April 1st at 2:30 and will be held at the Town Hall in the main meeting room. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Is the Summerfest, it says March 27th at 6 p.m. Is that
Yeah.
canceled?
Yes, that
Yeah,
is canceled. We met today and rescheduled that one for today.
For April 24th.
Correct.
Yeah, at 4:30, correct?
4:30, correct.
Here,
Yes.
Thank you. Next up, we'll move to fire.
The monthly report for February, we had 185 total calls for service. 125 EMS, 3 structure fires, 11 motor vehicle accidents, 8 citizens assist, 18 false alarms, 18 mutual aid runs, and 4 township calls. The training hours were 339 hours. We're still installing smoke and seal detectors for citizens that email us and we set up appointments. We installed and inspected multiple car seats. A lot of times people don't even have an appointment. They'll just stop in and if there's a tech there, they'll ask us to check it, you know. So we've done 50 fire code inspections in the town, so pre-planning for multiple buildings and occupancies. We continue the implementation of life safety inspections, vault and active alert for inspection and pre-planning. We hosted the Stop the Bleed first aid for the Scout Troop 561. Project Fire Buddies Bowl with the Firefighter raised $3,000 for that organization. I completed my NIMS 400 advanced ICS course. And then we worked, Project Lifesaver came to the station, trained firefighters to be trainers. One was Chief Martin, Operation Chief Hemrick, Lieutenant Piziak, firefighter Manfrey, and firefighter Mano. And then Monday night, they started training us, the rest of the guys. So we took the lecture, we took a written test and passed it. And then we went outside with the receivers and they had hid transmitters and we had to find them in groups, you know, that's the first phase. Now, after that, we have to go and find them individually and we have so many minutes to find them. So, let's see. Once we finish training to the standards of Project Lifesaver, then we can institute it with the people. So anyone interested in applying for this program can email us at projectlifesaver@townofdyer.com. So they'll be on a list already when we start kicking off. So I think it's really a good program. Those transmitters, you know, I guess they really work. So if you can find a little transmitter, you're gonna find a person.
Is there a fee for that, for the people that? sign
No,
up?
we don't. There's no fee for the people. We get, so far, we've gotten donations from companies. Keep it going.
I think you have to have a 24-hour caretaker, correct?
Yeah, there's standards.
to
If
be
they
eligible
email us,
for
then we
those
can
standards.
interview them. You know, set up interviews, see them and see what they,
I think it's awesome. It was just,
yeah,
I had a hard time finding it because I'm not used to it, you know,
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to find it with that machine.
right.
But, I mean, you guys, a lot of the firemen, they really were able to find them quickly.
Yeah.
And, hit them in trees and. so
Right,
forth, and they were
trees,
able to find
bark.
it. I guess you have to really play with it and.
Yeah, well, there's that procedure, you know, if you
Right,
follow the core, you know, what they teach you in the course, that it's a proven system and it does work, so.
Right, and a lot of the dementia, you know, the sundowning that they go through, and I've experienced it with my father, but it's something how they can't walk at one point in time and then they're up and getting dressed and getting ready to work, and it's like, how'd you do that, you know, and could have left the house and
Right.
but it's remarkable, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you. Next up, we have PD.
For the month of February, it's 612 incidents, 39 arrests, 20 accidents, 270 citations, 434 warnings, 561 traffic stops. Yesterday, we gave out 3 conditional offers to candidates. They will be, their physical and their psychological exam should be completed by next week, and we'll go from there to see if we can get them in perf. Last year in 2020, for the fiscal year 2025, I submitted the House Appropriation Committee a community project funding application for the radios. Unfortunately, it did not make it on this year's budget downstate. So I filed it again Monday for 2026. So we'll see where we're at to try to get some funding for the radios that we're going to need to replace. Fire department's already working on theirs also. That's the conclusion of my report.
Thank you very much. Next up. Neil, come on down with road projects.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We have the 2023-2 CCMG, which is Harrison from 213 to Edmond. That project is complete. We're working on minor punch list items. Final pay request is in process, and then we'll close out with NDOT for compliance. Similarly, with the 2024-1 resurfacing projects from last year, that has been closed out with NDOT and accepted by them. The 2024-2 reconstruction of 212th Place from Harrison to Madison, we have pre-construction meetings upcoming, and then construction will start immediately after that. John Burge, we have design engineering substantially complete, and then we're coordinating with staff for the property acquisition. Once that's done, we will get that project out to bid. Good news, 2025-1 CCMG, we were awarded the entirety of our request, which was 1.5 million. And due to their accelerated schedule at NDOT, due to their fiscal year, which is slightly different than the calendar year, obviously, we are opening bids on that project on April 15th, and we will have a recommendation for award at the April 17th Town Council meeting. Any questions? Thank you so much. Thanks to
Thank you.
Dave and Frank and
Thanks,
Jeff
Dave.
for everything.
All right, next we'll move to ordinances and resolutions. I'll be seeking a motion to approve ordinance 2025-03, adjusting utility and solid waste collection fee rates.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 2025-03, adjusting utility and solid waste collection fee rates on first reading.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Barry,
Hi.
Jenna,
Hi.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to suspend the rules and approve ordinance number 2025-03, adjusting utility and solid waste collection fee rates on second reading.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Hi.
Jenna,
Hi.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye. Next up, I'll be seeking a motion for resolution 2025-05, establishing personal property as surplus.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-05, establishing personal property as surplus.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye. Next up, under old business, we have the fireworks contract with Mad Bomber. If everyone remembers, last meeting, there were 2 different options, a fireworks only and a fireworks with drone option. The drone option obviously was more, but also came with a subsidy from I believe from the organization, from the company. So we are just here to decide which we'd like to do. If anyone has a motion either way.
As far as the drones, is it gonna be after the fireworks or the drones and then the fireworks, or is it all gonna combine together?
Altogether,
Fine, from what they.
It's
Yeah.
combined
That's the
together.
picture of it, you know.
altogether.
And there's two separate fees. for it.
I prefer the fireworks display only personally.
I like the drone show. I've seen them, you know, at Disney and everything. I think people like them. It's something current. They do like them, and because they're subsidizing. My only thought is if we're really gonna move forward on this event center, let's let it be on that, you know, when the event center is down and then let it be a kapow. But, you know, if you're gonna spend a little more money, but that's just my thought on that. But I do like it, but it is busy. But that's people, that's the only way they can really do that, because they don't show up exactly. I've gone to some people's houses at Christmas that do those lights, you know, that kind of drone thing.
Yeah.
And it's, you have to have them simultaneously, but it is, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's busy.
I think for now, I think. Back from, prefer the, yeah, India,
Well, they do a fabulous fireworks show.
they do, yeah. I think people, when they think of Indiana, they think fireworks.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll make a motion to approve the fireworks display for Mad Bomber, the fireworks. Display for $23,500. For the fireworks only.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I have a second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Hi.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Hi.
Bob,
Aye. Next up under new business. We have the health insurance renewal. I'll be looking for a motion to approve the health insurance renewal. To execute the Cigna renewal contract at a 5% increase from the previous year.
I'll make a motion to approve to renew all the medical plans from Cigna as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Hi.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next up, we have a board and commission appointment for the Historic Preservation Commission.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the.
To appoint.
Oh, to appoint?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to make that motion to appoint for the Dyer Historical Preservation Commission, Andrew Russell, 414 Grieving Street, Dyer.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Hi.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next up, we have the replacement of the street sweeper.
Sorry. Sounds funny.
Yeah, I'll be looking to a motion to accept the Brown equipment bid at $290,467 to replace the street sweeper.
I'll make a motion to accept the Brown equipment bid for $295,467 for a new street sweeper.
I'll second.
Just to be clear, that motion includes the $5,000 trade-in value.
I was just gonna say that.
So do I give the final price then, the 290?
I would incorporate that 5,000 trade-in value in the motion, just so. we're-
All right, I incorporate the $5,000 trade-in value, me leaving the final price $290,467.
And I'll second that.
You're good.
For just added some information on discussion, I believe it's a 120-day delivery, so next month you'll see a surplus request to deem the old street sweeper surplus. And I think the 120 still stands.
Sounds good. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Under any and all, I'll be looking for a motion to.
I'll make a
approve-
motion to approve the CGI contract for the next 3 years.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? I do like the idea of finding out which local company did it. just to know who does, who, you know. who
We
sets it
are,
up?
we will investigate that tomorrow because we will be talking about CGI in the morning. And whomever they are, even the videographer that they used the last time was excellent. Who
Right.
Was really good. And this is a person, this is a local person, they're from Highland. So we're going to talk about CGI in the morning, so we will get that information.
Perfect. Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Hi,
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Anything else for any and all?
Just on the Man Bobber contract, the vendor did not sign it before it came to you. We just gotta have it like I asked before, that the vendor sign these, so they stay here, we don't lose track of our paperwork, the records room.
Sounds good. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Voice vote?
Aye.
Aye.
we will take a 1 minute break and then we will Redevelopment Commission meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. We're going to go through this because we want to make sure we have everything that we're supposed to do before. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Here we have the roll call, please.
Here.
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 Here. Next, we have citizen input, and I want to make sure that if you're going to have a citizen input, make sure that you state your name and your complete address when you come to address us. Is there any citizen input? Hearing none, we will move on to the consent agenda, which contains the minutes of the February 20th, 2025 redevelopment commission meeting and claims totaling $150,452.63.
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Next, we have old business. We, on 2012 Hart Street.
Although Director of Operations is not in attendance, his report reflected that that's a 60 to 90-day process that has been ordered for the two appraisals. So if it comes in earlier, it may be back to you for April. That seems to be standard right now with the commercial appraisals.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Next, we have the annual TIF report. Now, this is, we have to do this every year. We also have to give it to Lake Central, I believe, and to the trustee.
Yeah, there's several places that we have to send it as far as the process, and it'll be downloaded into Gateway by April 15th. This report was prepared by Baker Tilly with the assistance of clerk treasurers and also the town manager's office. What we will do is you'll need to read it into the receipt this into the report that you have received the parcel lists. And that'll be your RDC obligation. It's the same list every year, list of properties and
Okay, we don't have to pass anything or approve anything.
you just have to verbally receipt it into the record.
Okay,
Adam, if you want to structure exactly how you want that done.
Yeah, you just accept the report as a matter of record.
okay, we will accept it into the report as a matter of record. There we go. Next, we have Central Park Parking Lot Bid Award.
You heard in the presentation at the study session that the process was administered by Robinson. You'd be looking for a motion to award contract. I believe the number is $1,444,156.10.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Central Park parking lot bid award to M&J Underground Incorporated for the alternate bid results of $1,444,156.10.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Anytime where you can do a project that comes in 20% less.
Right, we'll take it.
Outstanding.
Especially now.
Yes.
Roll call,
Yeah.
please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Next, we have the Central Park capital projects for the event center and amphitheater.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with JMA Architects for the event center and amphitheater not to exceed $378,000.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Any and all? We still need to announce the soccer event again. So I would like to have one of them come up and talk about the soccer event, how important that is and the date.
I didn't look like that.
Put it in the minutes. Name and address, please.
My name is Melissa Trask. I live at 2315 Calumet Avenue in Dyer. And thank you. It's my son's birthday, but I wanted to come at least and just hear what's going on. So we are planning on doing our 50th anniversary at Central Park on May 31st, and we would love for you all to come. Mickey is in the process of picking out a huge, beautiful boulder, of which we will be donating a plaque for his service of his father starting Dyer Kickers. We have several sponsors that are going to be coming to the park that day, along with special championship games from 4 years old all the way up through U16. It's also the inaugural year for the Lake Central Middle School team. So we are working with them to get some of the middle school team to come play their very first annual intramural game just as a fun. So we will have like spotlighting everyone that's been part of our organization for the last 50 years. Free snow cones, popcorn, different activities. Ziggy's will be there for the kids. We'll have all kinds of things. We'll have trophies, speeches, and like I said, we have a lot of different sponsors coming. So we really appreciate the use of the park on that day. Central Park, everyone will be there. And so we are also doing our first annual Romer Scholarship for any Lake Central student that was a former Dyer Kickers. There's a few other things that they need to have, like they have to have a certain letter in a sport in high school, but we are proud to introduce that this year for deserving former Dyer Kicker that is a current. It doesn't have to be Lake Central, any surrounding high school. So there's a lot of fun stuff. There's a lot of people saying yes. Chicago Fire sending some people down. The Red Stars just told me today that they are going to probably send some of their players down to partake. The Northwest Indiana Planner is going to be coming to do a story, as well as some of the other local press. The Historical Society is also trying to get us some memorabilia to showcase. So it's going to be a fun event, and we appreciate the use of the park for lots of years to come, along with all the other fun stuff you guys are doing there. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Good
happy
job.
birthday. Any and all? Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't.
Please state your name and your address.
I am Patrick, and it's Patrick Tortorisi, 164 Chateau Drive. I don't know if this is probably the redevelopment committee to bring it up to. Is there any plans or talks about walking paths, bike paths?
It's bike
Yes,
paths?
Yes, yes. This is
You
your show. I'll
go
let
right
you know.
ahead.
Is this the appropriate?
Yes,
and
you're
no,
fine.
yes, no, but we're the same body.
Get right
So,
in with soccer.
we are running into some hiccups with the railroad.
Okay, I've heard that before, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's, we in fact had a meeting earlier tonight where we discussed some of that. We're working with them. We do have a grant outstanding with some federal funds to complete a walking bike path, the path that would connect to the Pennsy Trail. But now that path is not as clear, so we will see. But we are as actively working as I think there's probably going to be a phone call first thing in the morning to find out where we can go from here. But yeah, if it weren't for the railroads, I think we'd already have it. But
Sure.
And that's on a large scale. If I can also add that the report that Public Works gave earlier is that sidewalks will be connecting Route 30 to the north end of town now. And then if you know, on the infrastructure, each one of our larger parks has paths within inside the parks for local as well. So I don't know if you're talking more on the broader schedule of meeting with the
Yeah,
big ones.
I was sorry, I didn't. Okay, go ahead.
No, you're great.
No, I was more looking at like especially with when you're talking about, Route 30, Route 41. Well, Route 41 is not necessarily us, but I've always been a big fan of being able to get from one end of the town to the other with from on biking, walking. So and I think that there is a really good at least path going from that Emery Park to Pheasant Hill. I was seeing if there's a way to jump over and connect that all the way to Central Park. I think that would be
yeah,
awesome.
and I think that's what our sidewalk project is doing up on Route 30, and then we're gonna work with NDOT for some signalization along 30 right now. I think the safest place to cross is at 30 and Hart where it's signalized. And we'll work with that. So we have a handful of things.
Is that April 28th is when you said the sidewalk construction would begin there? Yeah. So that.
Appreciate
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
See, we.
A motion and a second for adjournment. Voice vote.
Aye.
Thank you.